Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.
Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Cameron Davis replacing Tasty Bacon, but joined with Osto tonight for another match of Counter-Strike for C-Star League, Collegiate Star League. Tonight's going to be an amazing match between UC Riverside and RIT, both of which are currently 2-0. So, whoever takes this match is going to be the top of this group. And because this is the same group as SJSU and Toronto, and because of Toronto's win over SJSU, putting them in 3-1, whoever loses this is actually going to drop down to third place, because then it'll be 2-1. Yeah, it's pretty much all I have to say. Hi, Alsto, how are you?
Wow, that was the weakest will I've ever had in my life. Wow.
It's okay.
I'm doing
They
great.
can't all be winners.
Yeah, you know what? You gotta have some bad ones to balance them out. But
Exactly.
I mean, this is a game that I'm looking forward to because UCR we haven't gotten to see so far this season. They are 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams have a bye, so they're 3-0 on CEVO, but 2-0 in actual matches. But
Okay.
UCR has 2 forfeit wins as their only 2 wins. So we haven't been able to see them so far this season. They did put up impressive numbers, not quite as impressive as RIT's, but they went 5-4.
Yeah.
RIT
Going,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, that was the other
9-0.
thing. Not only are RIT undefeated this split this during the spring, they're 9-0 overall from the fall. So they are absolutely 100% undefeated for the 2016-2017 season.
Yeah, and one of their wins this season so far against SJSU, which was some people's favorites to win it from winning last time. They won. It wasn't quite as convincing about as their other win, which was against Toronto, 16-2. It was 16-14 on Dust 2. So a close game, but they still did beat out SJSU. So RIT, if they come into this with the level they've been showing so far, I think it's going to be pretty difficult if UCR isn't prepared.
Yeah, well, as we saw from last game, beating SJSU, it doesn't actually carry as much weight as it may have in previous seasons. But actually, it's impressive beating Toronto 16-2. That's actually definitely a bigger number. I know you just got back from work, but Toronto just did beat SJSU. What was it, 16-3 on Nuke? And so,
yeah, but I mean, it's Nuke.
That's true.
It's not. It's gonna be Nuke's pretty strategy sided because Nuke, it's not exactly a super new map. It's been out in the rotation for quite a while.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that teams put the majority of their time into it because most teams ban it in vetoes if they ever have the option to. But of course, CEVO assigns their matches week by week, so there's no banning or any sort of map picking from the teams themselves. So it's very possible they just didn't put much time into Nuke. They probably swapped out some players from the previous season, and they put time into the maps that they wanted to get really strong on, and that could be a reason they lost so badly.
I mean, well, that's another team for another time. Right now we got looks like they're going to the knife round, so might as well just pop into that. Give me just 1 sec. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. Knife round. Not too much exciting, but it's just gonna be here for when the match does actually start.
Excited to see what the winners actually go with because Nuke previously, super CT sided map, and some argue that it still is, but some are also arguing that the T side is actually starting to be stronger. So
yeah, so the thing about T side, I said it's very strategic. You got to have your hits planned.
They did choose CT, by the way.
Yeah, the CT's kind of like, it's the safer side. But at like super pro level, if you're good on the T side, like you can run away with games because you can get your hits in on the sites, then just go absolutely bonkers, and the CT has no way to deal with you because while it is, you know, I'm not gonna bother trying to come up with reasons. Why?
I mean, yeah, it can be hard because if you just completely get into the B site and dominate it, you can completely just shut down the rotates from up on the A site.
Yeah.
But then it comes down really to a battle of aim and a battle of just personal player skill. So it's the sort of thing where, I mean, you can just be outclassed by strategy, but you kind of need, if you're going to be outclassed by strategy, you need superior aim to back it up. But if you go against a team that has superior strategy and superior aim, I mean, on any map, that's going to be very difficult to go and get a win against, but especially on Nuke.
Yeah. Surprised why these people aren't readying up, actually. Still have 2 people from RIT waiting on them. Oh! Okay, here we go. Standard 3 restarts before. Restart 1. Restart 2. Restart 3. Yay! And we're live. First round buys. Okay, so we do have 4 armor and a kit on RIT, and then 3 armor. Actually, 2 raid bosses on a UCR. Excited to see where they go. They're just gonna rush straight into lobby. HE open that squeaky door, and they're just gonna rush straight on into the A site. Actually, not even going down squeaky. Not squeaky, vents that you would prefer, assume. We do see Beatreon peeking in from Mini. T's dropping a couple of members, but the bomb is planted. 2 versus 3. They just need. Oop, well, now it's just up to 1. He gets 1, doesn't quite get a second one, and with the kit picked up onto Kyrie, easy defuse should come in.
Yeah,
I mean he had it. I don't know why they gave it to. Okay, but yeah,
there's a little bit of unfortunate poor positioning there from I'm a person. I mean, once he's in that position, he's pretty much trapped. Not much he can do being trapped in the corner vent, but
yeah,
it was just RIT playing it slow, waiting for them to push out and give them the headshots, and UCR was able to trade it for a short while, but RIT just hitting the headshots, trading their teammates effectively, and in the end just completely dominating towards the end of that round.
Yeah, so the thing about the A site is that once you're on the site, there aren't that many places to hide. And so a lot of times if you see T's dominate coming into the site, we got a nice little bit of a spray down coming in outside. Ashen actually taking the first kill, getting a second. So 2 for 2 so far on the trades. And even a couple of weapons picked up by the terrorists. And no, this is actually a man advantage right now for UCR, so they just rush outside and just take control of everything. Now, they are lacking armor, and they have 2 grenades, both of which are damage grenades, not utility, so still very doable for RIT right now. Where are they going? Looks like they're still searching for people. Intense maybe walking straight into Floofy, and he does get taken out. Pulls back, gets a second, and a third. Nice spray down at the end there to keep it RIT. But UCR did do damage. Did not get the bomb plant, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it was going well for them at first. I mean, there was some phenomenal play just going up, spraying down from the ladder position, just opening up the map so much, but then they decided to play it slow. If they just tried to rush out onto a site, use their numbers advantage to their advantage, because they knew that the CTs were most likely split up at some part of the map, they probably could have had a better shot at just winning that round flat out. Unfortunately, they go for the slow play, go for the safe play, and RIT punishes it.
Yeah, but all in all, I'd say it was a successful save round. Dealt a fair bit of damage, and because they got the bomb hit the first time around, we see them with their AKs in hand. Oh, here we go. So this is what we didn't see last map. We didn't see any sunroof windows blown out, and this is pretty necessary for a standard A take. This doesn't mean that they're gonna do an A execute, because it could just be a fake right now. But there are people just chilling out in lobby.
And right now the CT is just playing it perfectly passively. They're not giving up any information they don't need to. They're just holding their angles. They have the players in strategic positions, mainly up towards the A site. But right now that's where it looks like the terrorists are aiming to go towards.
Kyrie's getting a little impatient.
Yeah.
They know they're in lobby.
Yeah, they know they're in lobby. Tally pushing up into a more aggressive position. I'm wondering if he's going to try to get some peek. Oh, this push going to start coming in, and massive damage from the molly.
Yeah.
Arian spraying down the players. 5 versus 2. Talon trying to find Tally through the smoke. Not quite going to do it, but Tally still not in a fantastic position. Kyrie and Vitrion going to be waiting for him the minute that smoke fades.
Oh.
Tally going to find the first frag. Ashen finding a second onto Floofy, and now it's a 2 versus 3. Talon and Starch both very low, but Tally might not be expecting this vent push. They both have their backs to it. So Starch gonna have the perfect flanking position. 1 versus 2, and he's gonna find the kill. So a close round there, but it looked like when UCR just started to use their utility, started pushing onto the site, RIT just outclassed them. That molly initially did massive damage. It brought 3 players down to about 50, and then the spray down and the crossfire setups over on that A site just did not fare well for UCR.
Yeah, and that's actually a big thing that teams have been struggling to deal with is that one position. I believe that there actually is a molly that you can throw that can land right on where Kyrie was. So if UCR actually know how to throw that one, potentially in the future we could see him starting to be zoned out. Ooh, we got some dualies on Intense. Intense being a little too intense for us right now, I'd say.
Yeah, smoke wall going to come into the outside area. It does provide them the cover to get down into secret, and they actually try to surprise the CTs, pushing over towards the hell area. They do pick the first one, but Kyrie going to trade it. Ashen pushing up in close. I'm a person and Ashen both finding a kill each, so it's a 3 versus 2. Talon and Floofy. Oh, Floofy actually down on the B site. Talon going to be the only person holding off if the terrorists decide to take this towards A, which it's looking like they're gonna. So Floofy still just waiting, hoping that they might be going ramp and he can catch him off guard, but they're going to have to find this initial frag on the Talon. They don't have any armored players on the side of UCR. Talon going to hear the bomb plant come out and spot time a person, gets the first frag, so it's a 2 versus 2 Juicy, still with only a Glock, and now Floofy going to get the heads up to rotate up towards A. Talon finding the second. Now it's just Ashen. 1 versus 2. Talon doesn't know he's up in heaven, and Ashen takes the peek, but it's gonna be Talon finding the 3rd kill. Essentially a 1 versus 3 for him up there on A, and the terrorists just didn't have any crossfires set up to take him out and be able to hold themselves into that round. So UCR are gonna be able to buy up here. Again, another successful eco for them, getting a lot of money in their bank to get them on this op on the I'm a person, but sooner or later, they're going to have to start winning rounds on this side if they want to be able to take it on their CT side.
Yeah, also with that last round, the lack of armor didn't hurt those retake efforts. But as you said, very decent eco round. Now it's up to them to finally try and swing this into actually getting a round and then keeping it. Once again, sunroof windows being blown out. Not too much utility expended on the side of RIT. They still have 2 smokes and 3 mollies left. So if UCR, if they want a shot to take in this A site again, they may need to try and bait more of those out.
I'm a person. Nice molly onto Talon's position. Oh, not going to be able to hit the op shot as Talon falls out, but does get that a little bit of info for his team.
Again, taking it slow. Person, ooh! He knows someone's in that corner who just dropped down in close squeaky. Couldn't hit the shot through the door, but now kind of pulling away.
Ashen's throwing his smoke over towards heaven, following it up with a molly over on top of HUD. Actually going to force Talon out of position. They're aiming up like they might want to take this towards A, but 4 of the players starting to push out over towards the ramp. They don't spot Starch up on the boxes. Starch finds 2 for his efforts. Tally finally trading him out, but a 3 versus 3 as they push down onto B, and Talon gonna be the only one rotating down. Does get spotted out by Juicy. Finds the first frag on a Tally, gonna find the second on the Juicy, and now Ashen needs to try to pick him off. Does, but it's a 1 versus 2 for him. Swaps to the AK, 13 seconds left. Has to get the bomb and try to plant it, but Kyrie sitting over here trying to wait for the plant. He's just gonna peek out and find the kill.
Yeah, there was, at that point, you just had to go for it and hope that they assumed that it was a fake, but that would be silly for them to do so. It was a unwinnable situation.
You know, what was interesting that round is actually all five players were positioned up towards near A. 2 were sitting over towards ramp to try to stop that B push, which Starch did to some effect. But in the end, they didn't have any initial players on B, so Talon had to rotate down, but Talon was very much able to capitalize on that rotate.
Yeah, getting 2 before he was taken out, and then just there was a, what, 1v2, 1v3 at the end?
Yeah, with 13 seconds, so
yeah,
you know, buying plenty
more
of time.
importantly, 13 seconds. Another wall of smoke, so that Molly should deter them a little bit. No, actually, very little damage taken. While he may have missed. Ooh, almost actually hitting someone through the smoke. He may have gotten a leg that time. Finally finalizes the kill. Gets some more damage, pulls out his 5-7. Can he do some 5-7 magic? It's just Ashen left, and he's been doing the most work for his team. Currently 8-0-5. See if he can't do more. Unlikely that he'll be able to win the round. But see if he can't damage CG economy at least a little bit. It is low. So they have been getting a number of picks and forcing enough rebuys for RIT. Very few of their players in... Only 2 of the players actually in quadruple digits right now. Ooh, Ashen. She's one gets the pick on him. Ooh, that's my dog.
That's Ashen letting the dogs out, but look at the scoreboard on the UCR side for a second. Ashen has more kills than his entire team combined. He's been so massive on these rounds. He's gotten them so close, but UCR just hasn't been able to get it in the post plants most of the time. So if they can just try to get their man advantage, get on a site and set up for good crossfires in a post plant, I think that UCR has a real chance at bringing this back. But they're going to have to get onto the site and get into those post plants, which has been their problem so far. So if they start waking up, it really could start going in their advantage. But RIT, if they can prevent that from happening, it's going to be very difficult for UCR to win this.
Yeah, that's kind of... You really kind of just spelled out the problems with Nuke. More or less. As far as getting on, you got to get on the site and keep the
Yeah,
site.
because I mean, you can see, like, Ashen has been doing massively in the kill department, but just not... It's not able to get them their round.
He actually has...
He's
got the highest score in the game, and they haven't won a single round, so... What does that say? I mean, I don't really... You know, that's obviously the score thing is not really that important as far as gauging a player's ability, but it's still interesting, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a gap between him and the rest of his teammates. I think they really need to just try to wake up, because you can even see when you're watching from some of the CT players' perspectives against the terrorists in these 1v1 situations where there's no crossfire set up, it just seems like the CT players have the better aim, better reaction time, and really, I think the T's need to wake up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that nade. Massive damage from Starch's nade.
Oof.
Puts Juicy down to 47.
Yeah, so most players went down through Sneaky, and oh, I'm missing all the kills right now. Talon on the site gets a second for himself, and now it's just Ashen. Picked up an op. Looks like he's gonna try and go save. There's 10 seconds left. That's really all he can expect to do. Will he catch Starch? Ooh, Starch. Wonder who gave that call out.
In the end, I mean, you can see Ashen only killing the round, but even then, like, the only one I really saw was Juicy pushing in the vent. He just pushes in, doesn't even check the left side, just gets completely shut down, and it's just, they don't seem to be super aware of where their enemies are going to be, or if they do, they're just not able to connect these frags. And they really 7-0 on the CT side. It's still doable. They can still start to come back, but right now RIT is just showing themselves to be so much more dominant that I'm starting to think about whether or not UCR is actually going to be able to.
Yeah, it's a very real concern. I also can't recall any how many times UCR have actually even gotten the first frag in the round. Another wall of smokes. This time they are actually gonna take it down through Sneaky. Only Juicy taking a little bit of damage, but not that much. But down waiting for them is gonna be Talon. He gets one before getting traded out. Patreon is on the site, but he's not watching the right side. Or the correct side, that is. But that's okay, because he has a friend. Luffy sees one pop out, takes a little bit of damage. Vitron does get a kill. Ashen, again, in the lurk position. He's the only one left.
Yeah, I mean, Ashen, it's really all up to him at this point. He can try to pick Vetreon only at 16 HP, but Vetreon, one hit gun, not going to make it easy for him, but I'm just trying to figure out ways that UCR can get back into it, and all I can think of right now is they need to start hitting their shots more. I mean, right there, after they spotted out their Opera, they needed to toss a smoke over towards the ramp area to shut that Opera out.
He's a smoke, he's a flash.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Juicy had one. I think I only saw him with 2 flashes. Ashen did have one, but he wasn't near the site to throw it.
Yeah.
It's just I think they need to be communicating a little bit more, try to set up to take these sites a little bit better, just using their utility. Because even a flash there, if Juicy just tossed his flash out, I mean, if with the right placement, it just completely flashes that Opera. Can probably even flash Floofy from the other side of the ramp, and that would at least get the player behind the pillar to get the bomb down. And once that bomb's down, all of a sudden you have the advantage because you know where 2 of their players are, and you can just try to defend that bomb from the more favorable situations. Admittedly, there were 2 other CTs, but in the initial situation, you would have had a slight advantage.
Yeah. How valid would the suggestion be for UCR to actually have 2 lurk players instead of just Ashen? Because as we see, Ashen's doing a lot of work, but how much of that is coming from him just catching rotates as compared to just being a better shot? Like, what if UCR had the 3 group members that actually onto the site, but then 2 people catching rotates?
I think honestly, if they're gonna do that, I think they should swap Ashen. I think one way or another, even if they don't do that, they need to swap Ashen away from being a rotator to being a site taker, because even if he does die, we've seen so far he's been able to hit his shots. So he's either gonna get a pick or at least light someone down enough that they can get picked, and he can get a lot of info for his team. If you put 2 of the players that maybe they haven't been showing up so much on the initial peaks, like maybe they just been getting shut down in a position where they can just hold an angle, watch for the rotators, you can completely shut them out, or at least try to completely shut them out, and then you have more firepower on the site, and if those lurkers can do their job, then you get more map availability, and you get the man advantage.
That's true.
So I think that it's a very valid situation for them here, but the problem is those 3 players getting in to take the site. They've got to use their utility well, and they got to be able to hit those initial frags, otherwise those 3 players might not do it. But I think right now the site they need to hit is B, because A has been so well defended from RIT. They put multiple people there each round, and we've seen even some rounds there's 0 people on B until they hear something, and then they rotate 1 or 2 down. So even then, in a 3-on-2 situation, at least in the man advantage way, you have the advantage.
Yeah. Once again, another little bit of a force spy coming out from UCR. Had enough round loss bonus that even with this buy up. Ooh, look at the push through wall of smoke. Nice little spray down coming out from Kyrie. Let's only ever get 1. And Intense does drop Stark. Iron Vitron both getting closer, so can Juicy trade back? He does get another kill before he falls. And once again, it is just Ashen left. Granted, he was on the backside, so everyone else pushed forward. At what point do you call Ashen a baiter for his team?
Winner. I mean, this would be the situation, but honestly, I don't really know why he's lurking this right now. Like, you have upgraded pistols. You need to be pushing together with your team because the only situation where you're going to win that most of the time is you push together, one of your teammates dies, you trade it with a Tech 9 close range because pushing with so many numbers allows you to get that close.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's really too much merit to sitting behind and trying to lurk with a Tech 9 when the rest of your team is pushing out towards the site, because even if you're lurking behind, unless you can catch a player off guard, like shooting them behind their back, you're still not going to have the advantage in that lurker fight. So there's really not a ton of reason. I'm a person hitting a beautiful first shot.
Yeah, that was actually a very nice pick. See if they can't actually take this into a round win. Try saying that 3 times fast. Though,
Amen.
start
Amen.
boosting up Floofy. Doesn't get anything. Juicy immediately takes his head off. That first missed shot was more than enough of a hint that UCR needed. 5 versus 3. Come on, UCR. You have to get 1 round off of this.
Yeah, man, this is their dream advantage. They have 5 versus 3. The counter terrorists are spread out. One's going up towards heaven. 2 players actually up towards heaven, and Vetreon just holding over towards ramp, trying to shut down a B push should have come that way. But it looks like now they're gonna put all their eggs in one basket over here on the A site. So with the utility coming out from the terrorists, it might be their advantage. Ashing hitting the first onto Starch, tries to hit the spray onto Kyrie, and it's going to be I'm a person to find his second of the round, and now it's Vetreon 1 versus 5 with the op. Probably going to go to get a little bit of damage out of this because their economy is very well off, but might just save so that a comfortable buy from, or 4 Starch from him can go out. But this was a very well played round from UCR. The counter-terrorist... I was going to say they gave them a lot, but I'm a person. That first pick was just very nicely played.
It was.
And then after that, they were able to push out and get the picks.
Yeah. And Ashen this time around did what we said. He was the entry onto the A site. And he got dropped to 15 health for sure, but did get that pick on, I believe it was Starch.
Yeah, and I mean, if the flash didn't come out, which fully blinded him, he probably would have hit the second spray down onto... I think it was Kyrie. Yeah, it was Kyrie. I'm a person was unflashed and able to come out and get the kill, but you could see that his aim is able to put them into these sites. So I'm hoping that he'll realize this and start to push out with this team towards the sites. Because honestly, if you're lurking every round and your team's not winning rounds, it's time to change something up. And I think it's stop lurking.
Yeah. So UCR gave the op to Tally this time because he was very front. Looks like they're gonna try and do it again. Very quick peek, but there is no one in sight. Instead, just Talon. He knows they're right there, and if the fire weren't there, I believe he would probably drop down. Looks like he wants to. No, instead he's just gonna smoke it off. Allow the terrorists to back off. Tally then gonna trade the op back to I'm a person. I've been calling him in person this whole time. I'm a person.
Just wants you to know he's a person, man. Come on.
You are a person.
People are people too.
Unless you're a horse. Then you're not a person.
You know, no, I think science has proved you correct there.
Fat fingered that. A little slow. Minute left on the clock. UCR have time to do something, but this is looking suspiciously like another one of those rounds that they're not going to have any time to plant.
Yeah, and I liked the initial play from RIT this round where they just played back passively because they expected the flash, but actually Starch might have a huge opportunity. Does get spotted out by Intense. Vetri, I'm going to hit the first frag. Going to hit the follow-up onto a Juicy and Intense at 13 HP from Starch. Gonna give a man advantage and health advantage in terms of Intense. Ashen might be able to catch up Talon here.
Yeah, Talon's
down at Secret. Gonna play the trigger discipline. Not gonna be able to find Floofy over towards control room. But Ashen gonna know where he is now that his teammate falls. Finds the second frag, so 2 versus 2. Intense still at 13 HP. Gonna be going towards ramp. 16 seconds left to get that bomb down. And it looks like the counter-terrorists are just going to be waiting for this. It might be very difficult. Kyrie and Vetreon not going to be able to deny it, though. Vetreon swaps out to the M4, so 2 versus 2. And both terrorists file back Ashen waiting to see if somebody pushes down towards vent, but little does he know both players are currently over towards doors. Gonna be smoking the bomb, so it's gonna be very difficult unless they know exactly where their spray. Kyrie gonna hit the first spray down onto Intense, so Ashen pushing up towards vent, but Vetreon gonna be watching for that angle. And honestly, what lost UCR that round was once again their post plant. They were both just falling back, watching the same position. Never considered that the players might have already come down through vent, which it's pretty hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah.
But you still gotta figure that after the bomb had ticked down so much and you hadn't seen or heard anything, maybe it's time to start repositioning at least one of the players, and unfortunately they weren't able to do it in time.
You can't deny that. That was a very nice retake done by RIT. It's not like UCR
beautiful.
just squandered that. RIT played that very, very well.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful play. You could really see the teamwork shining from the two of them too. Vetreon, basically his teammate had full trust in him to just spray down the person vent. He had no problem doing it, of course, and both players just seemed to know exactly where the other player was going to watch and were able to hit the frags.
Talon being a little of a tease there. Not even going for a shot himself, just trying to be annoying. I can appreciate that. Did find some information as well, and you could argue whether having a little window in that door is better for the terrorists or counter-terrorists. So very slow, less than a minute now. Looks like UCR is still trying to get onto this A site, but a lot of people are still outside. They have 45 seconds left. No, they're doing a wall of smokes to go down Squeaky. This is a little too late for that, wouldn't you say?
Actually, I kind of like it. They started to show themselves a little bit over towards the A site, and now there's a significant amount of CT players up towards A, but the thing is, I think they should have thrown a few more smokes and flashes over towards A, because immediately Talon rotates down. So they've got to be expecting him. Talon does get spotted out, and he doesn't actually find an initial pick, so it's going to be just him versus 5, and UCR playing this perfectly so far. They got to find this pick on a Talon. Ash actually going to take him out first, so it's a 5 versus 4. No remaining counter-terrorists on the site. They get the smokes down. They get the bomb planted. Nade finally going to pick off Intense, but Ashen going to trade it again. Kyrie picks off Ashen, so a 3 versus 3, but once again, all 3 terrorist players locked in one section of the map. The counter-terror is so spread out across this B site. Juicy trying to spot Vetreon, but Vetreon gonna find the collateral kill through the wall. And now it's just I'm a person locked in this area again, finds the initial pick. And now a 1 versus 2, trying to find a follow-up, gets the follow-up through the smoke, and now it's him versus Vetreon. 1 versus 1, the smoke fully covering the bomb. I'm a person, knows where he is, not able to find the initial pick.
Oh!
In the smoke, gonna save his team the round. And I'm a person gonna be beating himself up over that. I mean, it was so close to hitting him. And the flashbang from Vetreon just completely won him the round after the initial op pick was gone. The Glock just couldn't do anything. He couldn't find the player, and RIT hanging on to their massive lead by a thread that round, and I feel very bad for UCR.
Yeah, I was about to give Floofy a real raging, flaming, berating. Because Talon was on the B site, left all alone, Floofy just chilling up in control. Not even looking out the window to help his teammate out, but Vetreon does save the round. And so Floofy saves his spanking for another day. And once again, UCR, this is doing a little bit of a force up now. I got 3 AKs, 1 Tech 9, 1 UMP.
Gotta be honest, I'm still recovering from that round.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, me too.
Oh my god, it was intense.
I think UCR are as well. Vetreon though, getting the first pick.
And that's a little unfortunate because the op gone. Ashen's still on the Tech 9, so maybe he could try to rotate around and grab the dropped AK from Intense, but he's just holding this angle right now. It is smoked out, so maybe he'll fall back to do it, but UCR, I mean, that's gotta hurt their mentality too, because they were they were within a few pixels of that op shot winning them around, and trying their best to get back in here. Does get spotted out by Floofy, so Talon gonna find the initial pick on the B site, finds a second, and Juicy gonna trade Talon, but Kyrie and Floofy just gonna shut down the push, so 12-1, and UCR. I mean, it's still Ashen leading the scoreboard. His team's collective kills do amass to more than his, but it's only by 2.
Yeah.
So
that's still not that good of an achievement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to give him something, but
yeah.
It's actually only by 1. The rest of the team has 17, he has 16. Vetreon actually is beating him in kills now, but Vetreon's been playing pretty insane himself, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what I want to see from the terrorist side, though. They're pushing out on the site fast. They do get initially flashed, but Talon is going to fall. Kyrie going to trade it on the person, so... Oh, but Kyrie finding the second frag as well. Ashen trying to pick off the rotator through Mini, but Kyrie just completely shutting down that round, getting 3 beautiful shots and shutting UCR out. But that's what I want to see. I want to see them trying to get out onto the site, trusting their aim, trusting their teamwork, trying to get themselves these picks. And unfortunately, the utility from RIT, the positioning, it doesn't work out for UCR. But I hope that doesn't let them discourage them in this last round. I hope they can still trust their aim, trust themselves. Even though this scoreline looks bad, they need to believe that they can do it.
See, the scout can't do anything. I love the scout. I think the scout is very underappreciated.
It's accurate at the apex of the jump.
I mean, I don't even jump scout. I just like how it's faster than the op. I pick up the op and I just like, oh, I can't move with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can hit just shots with the scale, which I'm hoping I'm the person going to do here, and Lash going to be the first to fall, that's going to hurt for the UCR side. So 4 versus 5, they are pushing down onto B. It's going to be Vetreon taking the initial rotation. Has this op out, finds the initial shot onto the bomb. Juicy, though, going to push up close and trade it. 3 versus 4. There's currently no other players down on this B site. Actually, where is Starch right now?
He's in dark.
Oh, he is on B. All right, my bad. I didn't quite recognize that box. I haven't seen too many people play that.
Yeah, it's only been recently that people have started to play that. But they don't know he's there. Of course. Ooh, that's...
Oh, well. Juicy picks up the op. Makes us think he can do it for a second, but fantastic flank from Floofy. Just gonna... Oh, that was a tongue twister. Now, RIT, essentially a pistol round away from winning the game. So, UCR... They're going to have to play perfect Counter-Strike. They only have 1 round to play with, and if it's the first round that they lose, I think they're just done if they lose this. Like, obviously, they're not in a good spot, but I think the mentality of that 1 round when it just got so incredibly close, and I think they really did everything they could do there to win that round, and I think it hurt their mentality, because they're trying here. They're going to be trying... We're going to see what they buy up. I'm curious, actually, because I want to see if they play for the retake. I want to see if they pick up a kit. Some players might just force them to full armor here because they feel like it's the frags are the only way to win. And it actually is going to be 4 armored players.
No, we get a kit.
No, I'm looking at the RIT side. Oh no, they do get the. They both have 4 armored players.
4 armor, 1 utility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashen with the smoke, not the HE that we see sometimes. RIT though, doing what UCR did and kind of going towards ramp. First round. Tally though in a farther back position, allowing him to back off easier, but he is not able to find any kills while doing so. So they very much are going to be playing for the retake. Where is someone? No, is no one on the site? Yeah,
no person was, but he gets picked out very early. Juicy gonna get traded by Kyrie, and Kyrie with the 2K on this site right now. The counter-terrorist looking lucked out. Tally gonna find one, tries to spray down onto Talon, finds the second one, so a 3 versus 3. They have the kit. They could do this, but no one knows where Starch is so far. Hiding over here in... I forget what that room's called.
Control?
But... No. Well, is that what it's called?
Oh, Starch? No, that's a nuke.
Yo, yeah. Oh,
nuke. What am I talking about? This map is nuke.
1 versus
Toxic.
2. Oh, that's right. Whoa!
At this point, I don't know if there's enough time. He doesn't even have a kit. He knows it's over.
Pushes in.
To add insult to injury, he runs out of ammunition and gets knifed.
He did everything. Tally, you could really see he was doing everything he could. He hits a beautiful shot onto the jumping player, but
that jumping player was going for a knife too, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Starch, that was great positioning as well. He didn't peek out to help his team once. He was just sitting in there, waiting, trusting his team to get the frags. And in the end, I mean, they had no clue he was there. I mean, Tally had some idea. That's why I ran in there at the end, but there was really not much they could do. The bomb had ticked down way too much, and by the time they started getting the immense amount of frags, it just wasn't working out for them.
Oh man, UCR better be praying to the 5-7 gods to get 1 kill from it. See if they can't get more. But this is looks like UCR are actually attacking the A side that the terrorists are already on. They pushed out into lobby, but the terrorists came from above. They get the bomb plant intense. Doesn't get a kill. It's just down to Juicy and Tally. Tally does have a UMP, but 2 versus 4, no kit, no grenades. They have to go now. I don't know why UCR are waiting around. They don't have time for this, and now that it's just Juicy left, he gets taken out. That's a quick 16-1 for RIT, keeping themselves at the very head of the pack, first in the group, 10-0 over the entire season.
I was trying to see what Ashen had for kills at the end of that game, but I'm gonna open it up on CVO to check.
Yeah. Maybe like 20.
Ashen finished it with going 17 and 15. So
so not even. He kind of just dropped off at the last 3 rounds.
So keep in mind, Tally got a 4K in that last pistol round. He ended up 6 and 16.
Oh yeah.
Ashen's team really just didn't put up the numbers. UCR,
no.
You could see them getting into situations, but the players just weren't able to find the kills most of the time. And I felt like they didn't really understand nuke that much, because you could see in the post plants they were just, I mean, even on that round where it was so incredibly close, due to the opping of I'm a Person, was it? Is that who it was?
Yeah.
I believe it was him. Yeah. They were all locked up down over towards locker. You just really should never be in that sort of situation, and you could see multiple times that the terrorists just put themselves in these situations that didn't favor them, because I feel like they didn't understand the map, and because I feel like a few of their players just weren't on their game this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just, they got outshot, they got out-rotated.
On the opposite side, I mean, RIT, every player showed up at one point or another.
Yeah.
The lowest frags were 10 on the Starch, but he also tied 4 of his teammates for the same amount of deaths, 8. The lowest ADR on their team, 79.8.
That's like it's like an average to high ADR on a lot of games.
Yeah, and Ashen, the only player on UCR that even gets close, he beats it. The only player that beat him in ADR was Kyrie. I mean, it just seemed like UCR. I feel like it was because it was nuke, and because a few of their players weren't on their game. But I feel like the reason a few of their players weren't on their game is because it was nuke. They maybe weren't used to the headshot angles that you could take, and just weren't able to connect and able to find what they could do with their frags. But honestly, I think RIT deserves it. They for sure deserve that win.
Absolutely.
They just seem like such a powerhouse, and I'm curious to see how far they're going to go when they get into playoffs.
Yeah, they've got to be playoff favorites, if not overall like grand final winner favorites for a lot of people right now, particularly after just seeing that performance and being undefeated. That's a feat all on its own. That's going to be it for us right now. It's gotten late. I'm Cameron Davis. That is Osto. But first, though, we do want to give a nice shout out to our sponsors, Band Gaming. Very nice social media platform for gaming groups. Twitch, everyone's favorite broadcaster. Help a lot with collegiate stuff. Thank you very much. And then Asus, who are creators of all your favorite hardware needs for your gaming essentials. Give all of them a check out. Give them a great shout out to them. Great help. Without them, we wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't be putting on a show that we love to do, that you guys love to watch, that the players love to perform in. So thank you very much to them. And yeah, that's going to be us for the night. Come back later. Counter-Strike is every I'm sure you all know this, but just to reiterate, Counter-Strike is every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 and 10 Eastern time, 4 and 7 Pacific time. I don't actually have the time slots for all the other games, but just look up C-Star League, Collegiate Star League. We do Dota, League, StarCraft 2, and Vainglory. Am I missing any other games?
Dota, LoL, CS:GO, StarCraft 2, Vainglory. I think that's all we have right now.
I think that's it. But yeah.
At least now.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks everyone, and have a great night.